Welcome back to Tech Talks from Commercial Baking. I'm your host, Joni Spencer. In this episode, sponsored by AMF Bakery Systems, I am speaking with Wes Bryant, Product Manager for AMF Workhorse, and we are discussing how automated panhandling can improve safety, labor efficiency, and bakery performance. Hi, Wes. Thanks so much for joining me today.
Hi, Joni. Thanks for having me.
So this is a really good topic and one I don't get to cover very often, and it's something that's really important in a bakery operation. So let's just start with sort of the basics and kind of going over what panhandling's role is in the operation. What does it look like from a labor perspective, especially in this cusp of generational change that we're going through and these labor shortages that we're all experiencing?
Okay, well, I tell you what, I'll start out in its simplest form. Obviously, all the bread we eat, all the buns we eat, they're baked in these very large baking pans. Your average bread pan, it may be 24 to 28 inches long and 9 inches wide and weigh, I don't know, 7 or 8 pounds. But then some of the bun pans, those can be up to 36 inches by about 24 inches, and those can weigh 20 pounds. Now, keep in mind, when we're handling these also, they're hot. They are straight out of the oven. The bread has just been taken out of them. So, you ask about, if it's a generational issue or labor shortage issue. I want to say it's not necessarily a generational, it's just a labor issue. This is a very monotonous task. Some of these rates are running, 30 pans a minute, some more, some a little less, but a lot of them these days are in the 30s. And, from an ergonomic standpoint and a safety standpoint, there's reach, there's stretch, there's obviously burns because you've got to wear long sleeve shirts, you got to have gloves on. It's just a very labor intensive and a very difficult position for the bakeries to staff. That's kind of where we come into play because we offer a variety of equipment so we can handle them. So again, it does reduce labor, but it's not as a pure reduction of headcount. It is to free that labor up for other parts of the bakery.
Hmm. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, it's in general, it's a people issue.
It is. It is.
Okay, so let's talk about like the specific technology. Can you walk me through the various types of panhandling technology and how a baker can match the right technology with a specific application?
Oh, we can. I mean, we offer a variety of equipment from a multi-axis articulating arm robot. Everyone's seen the yellow or the white robots. Those are good for bakeries that have a big variety of production, several different pan types, because again, modifying that end of arm tooling or adjusting that end of arm tooling for changeovers and everything is very easy. The second time we offer are these Cartesian coordinate gantry systems. Very big, again, high rates, but take up a very large footprint, but they handle really big, really long runs, really heavy payloads. And finally, we offer what we call a servomagnetic pan stacker. Servomagnetic pan stacker is just a really, really small, compact footprint that handles usually only one pan at a time and builds a single stack at a time, whereas the other two technologies, they actually, on some of the pans, we'll pick up 7 pans at a time, 8 pans at a time. So again, it's all about application specific because here at AMF we don't try to force the baker into one specific technology. We look at their footprint, we look at their rate, we look at their potential for growth. We try to say we future proof them because just because they're running a particular pan set today, there might be a new product or a new contract coming along in 6, 8, 10 months from now, and they need to change that over. So again, we try to build the equipment to a very specific application to, again, tailor it to what the customer needs.
So it's really not something that a baker should just assume that they're not ready for or that they're not big enough for. I know sometimes those smaller operations might think, well, we'll get there someday. We're not big enough to have that type of automated technology yet, but that sounds like it might not necessarily be the case, huh?
No, that's not. It's actually funny. I've got one very large baker. They have probably, I don't know, at least ten facilities across the country. they have a gantry system. But then I have a small baker up in the New York area that they have one facility and that's it. And guess what? I've got a multi-robot cell in theirs because again, they run such a big variety. So again, I mean, that's the big misconception I want to get rid of is that you don't have to be big. We tailor it to the specific need and the specific future need.
So, okay, I want to talk about go back to sort of the people. We talked pretty specifically about, it's a people issue and this solves for that. It protects people, but it can also protect the asset, protect the pan, right?
It can because again, I mean, the lifeblood of the bakery is producing the bread. So that pan, I mean, that is a big investment. That is a tool for them, equally as much as the pan handling equipment or their oven or any other piece of hard industrial equipment in their facility. And average, and again, this is a rough average, but average pan damage a year is probably in the 2 to 5% range, no matter what the size of the baker. But again, if you're a really big industrial baker that's got tons of production, that can be $750,000 a year of pan damage. Even the small bakeries, it may even be more so for them because if they only run one line and say have 10,000 pans, they can have 20, 30, $40,000 worth of pan damage a year. So again, everything we can do to reduce that has an impact on them.
And I think bakers are a lot more aware of that now more than ever, just really trying to extend the life of the asset. And that includes the pan. Can't overlook that.
It is because it's not just physical damage. I mean, I don't want folks to think that it's well, they get bent or they get dented. No, it's the glazing, it's the oiling. Because as we all know, through use, the pans have to get reglazed every so often. So if we can handle them more gently and we can extend that time period between glazings, anything we can do to extend the life of those pans, the more those pans are in the system, the more bread the baker is making.
That's right. Absolutely. Okay, so here's another sort of assumption that I want to address, and that is sometimes bakers, if they need to incorporate automation, it means they also have to incorporate space, and that can be a challenge, especially for those smaller operations. How can storage and retrieval automation impact the production flow inside of a small footprint bakery?
That's exactly right. I mean, that's one of the biggest hurdles that my applications engineers face every day is fitting it into an existing space because from the handling side, some of these robot cells, they might take a 30 by 30-foot space, whereas the gantries, they may not take as wide a space. The gantry systems, they may only need 15 to 20 feet, but they need a good bit more length. And then the servo mechanical systems, those are small. Those are like 12 foot by 12-foot footprints. But one of the big things everyone forgets is the clearance overhead because, you've got to have clearance height. Are there conveyors overhead? Are there sprinkler lines? Just is the ceiling itself high enough? So from a handling system, we have to take a look at that. But when it comes into storage, we do everything from the traditional pan trucks. We can stack directly on pallets, and I've seen customers take pallet jacks and pull those stacks and put away. We have AGV systems, and then we have ASRS systems. I'm actually a huge fan of the ASRS systems because we can go multi-level on those. So once the stacks are built in the handling equipment, we transfer those stacks to a shuttle or a cart of some sort, and we put it into these racks. The big thing about these is by going multi-level, we actually do some of them 4 levels high because everything going up, everything in that Z axis, that's wasted space. So if you have a 24-foot ceiling and we have a 6-foot high stack on a cart, everything above it, that 18 feet above it, that's wasted space. So if we put that in a rack system, we can go within a foot or two of the top of that ceiling. So that just allows us, if you go 3 levels high, you've just tripled your floor space. So again, it's all very application specific. The hidden aspect to that, by storing them like this, the baker saves time. So if they've got 15 pan carts, it might take them 3 or 4 minutes to push to the other side of the bakery and get that. Whereas with an ASRS system, they push the button on the screen, and for product changeovers, you're guaranteed to get the right product in there. There's no mistake. The operator picks up the wrong or grabs the wrong card or anything, or puts the wrong thing on the line, and it's seamless. It really improves their efficiencies.
Yeah, and I've just you're talking about this, and I just have this vision in my head of every time I've been in a bakery where there are just racks going in every different direction. You've got 10 people pushing racks to and from and over to the side, and you have to like look in every single direction while you're walking. So just from a logistics standpoint, I think this would improve efficiency like that.
It does. I mean, because and you hit the nail on the head. Every little hole in that bakery, underneath the conveyor, beside a column, these pan carts are parked there. But when these carts are full, they can weigh 2,000 pounds.
Yeah,
These days, I don't want to push a 2,000 pound cart around anymore. So I'm more than happy to watch a piece of automated equipment handle those for me.
sure. Okay, so let's talk about bakeries who already have an existing panhandling system. Can you offer some advice for what signs they need to look for to know that it might be time to modernize the system, or even if it's time to replace? What should they be looking out for?
Well, one of the big keys is as they add more pan types. I mean, if they've been running three pan types and all of a sudden they've got a new contract or a new product and they just doubled the number of pans they have, that right there tells you, just like we talked about, that they need a better way to get those in and out of the system. The second one is labor. I mean, and I hate to go to this point, but every facility I go into, it's more and more difficult to get operators that are willing to come in and do this every day. So if you're struggling with labor, if you're pulling in a lot of temps, if you've got a facility that you have a lot of call outs, that's the other big sign that, yeah, we need to take a look at automation. And probably the final one is everyone, again, maybe this is a personal opinion, we have that desire to grow. If you want to take it to the next level, if you're a small player and you want to become a medium player or a big player, it's time to take a look at automation technologies.
All right, so here's what I have gathered from this entire conversation was incorporating automated panhandling isn't just I'm going to go online and pick this one and then it's going to show up. This is something that's very customized and like you said, it's application based. So this is something that a baker would want to work with you all to make sure that they are incorporating the right technology for their product lineup and their operation. What is the best way for a baker to get that process started and to get in touch with AMF Workhorse to be able to get some of their questions answered?
Well, the easiest place to start is actually our website, amfbakery.com. Throughout the country, well, actually throughout the world, we have regional salesmen, and your sales representative will contact you. We'll do a site visit. Actually, I go do site visits along with the salesman. We send application engineers. We walk the floor. We talk to the operators. We talk to the maintenance folks. We see what you really need to do. So really, just reach out and tell us who you are and what you currently do and what you want to do. That's the big part. Tell us what you want to do, and we'll help you get there.
I love it. I love it. Well, Wes, thank you so much for taking time to talk to me today. This was really interesting. And again, not a conversation I get to have all the time to really learn about how automation in panhandling can ease labor, improve efficiency, and actually improve the bakery performance. So thank you so much for your wisdom and your insight today.
Thank you for having me. It's been a pleasure.